Vitamin B6 is one of the most quietly essential nutrients for human health, yet it is frequently underrepresented, underdosed, or entirely missing from the very products people rely on for daily nutritional support, multivitamins. This is more than a design flaw or manufacturing oversight. It's a systemic failure in the supplement industry, driven by cost-cutting measures, regulatory fears, and outdated nutritional thinking. The result is a widespread, largely invisible wave of subclinical B6 deficiency, mild enough to avoid diagnosis, but powerful enough to erode health over time. Most commercial multivitamins include B6 in quantities barely above the recommended dietary allowance, RDA, usually around 2 to 4 milligrams per dose. While these amounts are enough to prevent outright deficiency symptoms like anemia or pellagra-like dermatitis, they fall far short of what's needed for optimal metabolic and neurological function, especially in people under stress, taking medications, or eating modern processed diets. And while RDA level doses might make a product technically complete, they do little to meet the body's true needs in today's environment. The reasons behind this underdosing are multifaceted. First, cost. Even though B6 itself is inexpensive, manufacturers often formulate their products around the lowest common denominator, cramming dozens of nutrients into a single small capsule or tablet. When real estate is limited, vitamins that are cheaper, trendier, or more marketable, like vitamin C, D, or biotin, take precedence. B6, lacking hype or public demand, is quietly minimized. Second, there's the lingering stigma of toxicity. Reports from decades ago warned about nerve damage at extremely high B6 doses, typically over 200 to 500 mg/day for long durations, and that caution has since trickled into mainstream supplement design. Many companies avoid including more than 10 to 25 milligrams per serving out of an abundance of caution, even though that range is perfectly safe for most people and in many cases therapeutically beneficial. Unfortunately, this risk aversion, while well-intentioned, has created the false impression that any B6 dose beyond RDA levels is dangerous, discouraging higher doses even where they are appropriate. But here's the critical truth. Toxicity is rare and slow developing, while functional deficiency is common and insidious. Most people aren't walking around with symptoms of acute B6 deficiency, but many are living with its quiet effects: mood swings, fatigue, brain fog, poor stress resilience, subpar immunity, high homocysteine, or blood sugar instability. These are exactly the conditions that better B6 intake could help improve, but they are rarely traced back to micronutrient insufficiency. Making matters worse, even when B6 is included in multivitamins, it's usually in its less effective synthetic form, pyridoxine hydrochloride. This form must be converted by the liver into the active version, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, PLP, which not everyone does efficiently. People with liver dysfunction, chronic inflammation, or certain genetic polymorphisms may be unable to make this conversion well, leaving them functionally deficient even when supplementing. Including the active form, P5P, in supplements would solve this problem, but again, cost and complexity keep most manufacturers from doing so, especially in mainstream, low-cost products. This leaves a significant portion of the population undersupported. Elderly individuals, pregnant women, people on medications like birth control, metformin, or antihypertensives, all of whom have increased B6 needs, are often using basic multivitamins with insufficient doses and low bioavailability. The irony is stark. People take multivitamins to prevent deficiencies, but are being shortchanged on one of the most metabolically crucial vitamins due to industry inertia and misplaced caution. This formulation problem also reflects a broader issue. Multivitamins are often designed for label appeal, not physiological optimization. Including a token amount of every essential vitamin checks the marketing box. But checking boxes doesn't build health. Meeting functional needs does. And in the case of B6, those needs are far higher than what standard supplements provide, especially in modern life where stress, inflammation, and processed food are the norm. To correct this, more informed consumers and practitioners are turning to targeted B-complex supplements or high-quality multivitamins that include P5P at 10 to 50 milligrams per dose, doses that are safe, effective, and aligned with actual metabolic demand. These products are harder to find, often more expensive and less mainstream, but they reflect a more advanced understanding of nutritional science. Until the broader supplement industry follows suit, however, most people will continue walking around with marginal B6 levels, unknowingly paying the price in mental, physical, and emotional energy. In conclusion, The widespread underdosing of vitamin B6 and multivitamins isn't just a small formulation flaw, it's a public health issue hiding in plain sight. By failing to include sufficient, bioavailable B6, most daily supplements are doing less than they claim, contributing to a slow erosion of well-being that affects millions. For those serious about optimizing health, not just avoiding deficiency, this is one nutrient that deserves to be reevaluated, redosed, and restored to its rightful place in daily supplementation.